Before Ratatouille, there was another southern French classic, and chances are most of you have never tasted it or even heard of it. This French Provençal eggplant flan called le Papeton d'aubergine is a speciality from my beautiful hometown of Avignon. Even though I was born and lived many years in England, Avignon, also known as the City of the Popes, will always be home to me. This recipe comes from the time when the popes lived here, blending the region's simple, rustic traditions with a touch of the elegance you'd expect from their tables. Today, I'll show you two versions, the simple, traditional recipe and another with my own chef's twist. And if you don't have an oven, well, bad luck. No, I'm joking. I've got an alternative cooking method for you too. Let's get started. For the papeton, you need some beautiful aubergines or eggplants as you might call them, a good splash of olive oil, garlic. Okay, obviously not quite as much as you see here, but it was just too pretty not to show off. Herbe de Provence, a little cream, tomato paste, fresh eggs, optional pine nuts and roasted cherry tomatoes to garnish, and of course, salt and pepper to taste. First things first, let's make the base of the papeton, which is a roasted aubergine puree, or as the French call it, caviar d'aubergine. Then we add some eggs and cream to turn it into a flan mixture, and gently cook it in a bain-marie. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius, 390 Fahrenheit. Wash your eggplants. Cut off the tops and slice the eggplants in half lengthwise. With a sharp knife, score the flesh in a nice crisscross pattern. Place them on a baking tray lined with baking paper and add a few unpeeled garlic cloves as well. In a small bowl, mix some herbe de Provence with salt, freshly ground pepper and a generous amount of olive oil. Mix everything together and brush or rub that mixture generously onto the eggplants. Now, here's where things went sideways for me. I went to pop the tray into the oven and guess what? Instead of hitting bake, I somehow turned on the self-cleaning mode. The oven door locked itself shut and I couldn't open it for half an hour. Instant karma, right? Especially since I just made a bad joke about not having an oven. I was gutted, but after switching it off completely, the door finally opened and I could carry on. Once you've avoided that particular disaster, roast the eggplants for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until the flesh is soft and tender. Check on the garlic after 20 minutes, since it cooks faster than the eggplants. When they're ready, let the eggplants cool a little, then scoop out the flesh with a spoon, leaving the skins behind. Chop the flesh, and if you want extra flavor, saute it for a few minutes in a pan with a drizzle of olive oil. This step is optional, but it really improves the dish. If you're using tomato paste, add it now and cook for another couple of minutes. Then remove from the heat and transfer everything to a mixing bowl. Squeeze the roasted garlic out of its skins. It should slip out easily. And add it to the bowl along with the eggs and cream. Whisk everything together, taste, and adjust the seasoning. Perfect seasoning. But let's ask Frogleg what he thinks about it. Surprenant. I have to admit, Pudding, very good seasoning for an English boy, but obviously not as good as mine. Now for the Papeton. Lower the oven to 140 degrees Celsius, 285 Fahrenheit. I'm using small molds here, but a terrine dish works too. Just bake it a little longer. Brush your molds with olive oil, place them in a deep baking dish, and fill them with the mixture. Pour in hot water until it comes about 2/3 up the sides of the molds. Bake for around 30 minutes, or until the Papeton is set and starts to pull slightly away from the edges. Let it cool, then refrigerate until it's ready to serve. Now that we've covered the traditional recipe, I'll show you my personal twist, adding grilled aubergine slices around the Papeton for extra flavor and texture. Using a sharp knife or mandoline, slice the eggplants lengthwise, thin but not paper thin. Season them generously with salt and let them sit for about 20 minutes to draw out moisture. Rinse them well and use a clean kitchen towel or some paper towel and pat them dry. Then season with herbes de Provence and olive oil. Give them a good mix and grill, bake or fry them until soft and cook through. Let them cool. Then line your oiled molds with the grilled eggplant slices, arranging them so they go all the way around the sides. You can overlap them slightly if needed. Cut a small piece of eggplant to cover the bottom of each mold. Fill the molds about 3/4 full with the Papeton mixture. Then finish with another slice of eggplant on top to seal it. Cook as before at 140 degrees Celsius in a bain-marie until the Papeton edges pull away from the mold and it's set. Then refrigerate for later. Final version for those who don't have an oven and those who just don't feel like turning it on. But you will need a frying pan and a steamer. Start by peeling the eggplants. Then cut them into cubes. Add a generous splash of olive oil to a saucepan and toss in the eggplant cubes. Season with a good pinch of salt and drizzle in a little more olive oil if they look too dry. Cook them gently over low heat, stirring every few minutes. If you're a little wimp, use this. Once they're soft and cooked through, add some chopped garlic, a sprinkle of herbes de Provence, and a spoonful of tomato paste. Cook for about 2 more minutes to bring out the flavors. Transfer the eggplants to a mixing bowl, add the eggs and cream, and blend with a hand blender until smooth. Taste and adjust the seasoning if needed. Brush a little olive oil inside your molds and fill them with the Papeton mixture. Tap the molds lightly on your counter to level everything out. Then transfer them to a steamer. Steam gently over low heat for about 15 minutes or until just set. Refrigerate until ready to serve. Papeton d'aubergine is traditionally served with a beautiful Provençal tomato coulis, fresh, fragrant, and full of sunshine. For the Provençal fresh tomato coulis, you'll need some fresh ripe tomatoes, olive oil, onions, more garlic, more herbes de Provence, tomato paste, a generous bunch of fresh basil, salt, pepper, and most importantly, plenty of love. Start by dicing the onions and gently cook them in the olive oil with a pinch of salt. This helps draw out moisture. Keep the heat low and cook until soft. Add finely chopped garlic and cook for 2 more minutes. Add a pinch of herbes de Provence, but not the ones you smoke, frog leg. Now add the tomato paste and cook for an extra minute. Chop your peeled tomatoes. And if you need a quick and easy method for peeling tomatoes, check out my video on that. Add them to the pan and let the mixture cook slowly for 30 minutes to an hour, stirring every few minutes to prevent burning until the tomatoes have reduced and released all their water. Now add a generous bunch of basil leaves to your sauce. You can leave your sauce chunky, but I like mine silky smooth. Transfer it to a blender. Add a pinch of sugar if too acidic, salt, pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil. Blend until silky smooth. Taste and adjust the seasoning if needed. Transfer to a container and let it cool for later. You can serve your papeton warm, but I personally prefer it cold. It's the perfect light and healthy starter on a hot day. For the traditional version, you need your chilled tomato coulis, the cold papeton, a few fresh basil leaves, a drizzle of olive oil, and some cherry tomatoes, simply roasted in the oven with olive oil, salt and pepper. Spoon a little tomato coulis onto your plate. Run the blade of a knife around the edges of the mold, then gently unmold the papeton onto the sauce. Garnish with a roasted cherry tomato, a fresh basil leaf and a drizzle of olive oil. For the second version, with my twist. Use the same elements as before, but this time add some lightly toasted pine nuts and swap the plain olive oil for vibrant basil oil. You can find my basil oil recipe linked in the description. Spoon the tomato coulis onto the plate. Unmold the papeton as before and place it on top of the sauce. Sprinkle with the toasted pine nuts. Top with a roasted cherry tomato, a fresh basil leaf, and finish with a beautiful drizzle of basil oil around the plate. And for the final version, the no oven method. You'll use the same ingredients and follow the same steps, but this time I made a little swirl with the tomato coulis on the plate and added some of the leftover eggplant trimmings as a garnish. And voila! Our papetons are ready. Now it's time for the taste test. This one was my favorite. And this one was really good too, but... Did you really think my shirt was going to stay clean to the end of the recipe? I tried. I really hope you enjoy this recipe. If you try it, please send me your pictures or videos. I would love to see your creations. And tell me, what's your hometown special dish? If you like this video, please put those thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thank you for watching, bon appétit et à bientôt. I have to admit they're pretty good. The only time I tried one that was better than this was when I made it.